with the emergence of new media.
Yeah.
and everything because ekugqibeleni because ekugqibeleni all forms of media zibe relevant zingabikho relevant according to indlela eziye zizibonakala siba credible or not. The whole country and so the whole world, in fact the whole world has been rocked by indaba zika Steve Harvey, which happens to be fake news. And everyone is talking about it. Buka wa-engage kuloo nto. Indaba zakhe kuthiwa intoni infidelity yena nonkosikazi, and then abantu basathetha nangoku.
Hey, but for me, that kind of content doesn't speak to me at all. Yes, I saw it, and I was also concerned. Everyone uthetha ngayo, but umnini wayo, which is Steve Harvey, we've heard nothing from him. And abantu, they are already having solutions to the actual case. People are already having what it should be done, and how was he always advised about relationship, and suddenly eyakhe iklameko. And for me, it was like, but Umniniyo has said nothing, has confirmed nothing, but people are already having conversations about it. But personally, I don't engage in such content.
Come engage now, Les.
Oh, yeah, doesn't she? Oh, brother, my coach, so I'm conducting time wasting.
No, look.
I don't.
Look, when you scroll down, you see these things.
Yeah.
And for me,
algorithm, I
don't think algorithm.
It is.
Abantu
What
abala
pops up?
ichoose ngubani ke ngoku. Is that like abantu bangcolile man? Yeah, well, like indlela abathetha ngalo. Well, we have established it's fake news. Went on a credible platform. It's like we're fine, guys. Yeah. So, but indlela
find the PR, you never know.
Maybe.
No, but it's cool. But let's not mamela lanto ayithethayo umuntu inkosi ukuzazi. So why abantu behleli nje bafuna indaba ezimbi, as said?
Because somebody else is having it worse than you. So you always need to convince yourself that truly somebody else is having it worse than you. And the news are of a person who is a public figure. It's easy to access, and therefore umtulala better at night knowing that you can still have it's that vibe.
And with
that's the craziest thing. And now because abantu about that now, I think it's a matter of everyone wanna feel better in their own corner. And these days, negativity sells faster, and it has a certain way of exciting people, which is why when a story is very negative, it runs quicker than every other story. I don't know what's the cause of that, but people seems to be getting easily excited and push a lot of negativity.
It's because we feel like shitty human beings.
Yeah.
And we therefore want to find the one who probably feels shittier than us. That's it. So the moment there's one person, God damn it, we all like gonna be there. But
you attract what you are. So if
this is why you got the story and we didn't.
Yeah, nice.
No, he didn't.
You walked right into that one.
No, look, because okay, I'm always, just trying to check, content, as a content producer, to sift about it. Also, we can all run Kustorasi one, but it's about angles.
That's true.
You can't run away from the Makudumane
story,
Pasta story. Oh, Senzo Meiwa,
I guess it is that I'm just not searching for certain things. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just not in a space to receive that as news to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are things that are just in the course of a person's private life, and I try not to dabble. I don't want to know. I don't care to know. Do you know what I mean? My focus is mainly on what kind of, what can I learn from how this person does what I admire them for. Beyond that, I don't want to tap into their life.
Because ultimately, we all have our flaws.
Yeah, like you were saying the thing about Kanye West, Wafotwa, getting head, and I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I've got some utterances about Kanye that I live by, that I'm like, oh, he's telling the truth here. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's what I take. I don't care for the rest of it. Yeah, bo.
And clean, I been as into wrong.
I bet people life it's in the course of living his life.
Vacation. There's nothing to do with him.
Yeah. Exactly. And it also has nothing to do with me. Yeah, but I guess on internet target market here. You know what I mean? We're all gonna go for what we need to go for. There are some people that will relate to Unkululeko on culture. There are some that will be like, no, Mac G is more my type. There's some also to DJ Smoo, or music to Penuel, or music to the Diary of a CEO. So there's always somebody who's looking for exactly what's being offered. It's just that it can't all be for you. Otherwise, we're schizophrenic.
Yeah, I think abantu abaninzi babhideka lapha xa ufuna uaphila kumntu wonke.
Yeah,
you can't appeal to everyone. Right.
It's why it is. Saqala kamandi nge-media talk. Say hello to the people.
It's another epic episode, the Ephondweni Network. The name is Yakim, the Master Builder. Mavulak Valiwe. I'm with the historical poet, certified by
self. God damn it.
No, okay.
Did I not certify myself?
Also by is it national or right? What do you call it?
Did he certify me? He just invited me.
Yeah, that's certification.
That's certification. That's recognition. Hey, he watches, so sometimes we need to say, hey, that. Hi, my name is Poetic Soul. I am the historical poet. I am nothing if not magic.
And we're not alone tonight. Bra X simply kum Xolani. Xola, sorry. Indifakala N. Ebaninso X inyinto. Ngathi kokuphela amagama ngela class ke-80s. You can already tell bangabana bawuxola lo Xolani Dumsani. So uyazi noba usuka kweyiphi na i-era. You know, for me, the type of the medium that you're using, Putuam, is very different. The model and how you did it. You know, I've interacted with your work. It's my first time, linking with you. And I feel that concept is very powerful. Now is known as Konvenient Magazine.
Please explain the concept. Please explain the concept because it's about catch off.
Can you explain?
Hello. Because I love explaining.
Yes.
Fascinating.
No, you passionate.
So, yes, this is Xola Speelman, as you said. He is the founder of what is now known as the Konvenient Magazine. It used to be known as the WhatsApp magazine. So it was basically a PDF magazine that is forwarded through WhatsApp with news on like anything, anywhere that is positive, great, entrepreneurial, creative. You could find news about somebody from Limpopo, somebody from Mpumalanga, somebody from the Eastern Cape. And when I bumped into it for the first time, I lost my mind. I was the target market. I was so that's basically it. And then we'll find out later from him how we come to now it being called the Konvenient Magazine.
And what was the inspiration behind it? Do you have a background in like journalism?
Actually, let me. Thanks for introducing me, Sis Leza. Xola Speelman again, the guy behind the Konvenient Magazine. So actually, I don't really have some kind of background in the space of journalism, graphic designing. For me, the product that you see today, it's a self-taught kind of product.
Oh, nice.
But the inspiration came from me. I remember I was flying from Joburg back to Gqeberha, and I bumped into a very nice publication on it. And when I went through the whole publication, I realized there's businesses in it. But one thing that was missing, there was nothing from the Eastern Cape, from business, from entertainment, from anything. The only business I remember there, it was a guy from Johannesburg, Tsepo M. And I was like, these flights are coming in and out of PE, but they are selling nothing from our spaces. And I was like, I need to find a way to get a publication that's going to celebrate people from here. Because when I started the actual publication, it was only for Nelson Mandela Bay. But after 3 months, people from other provinces, when they started to see it and they started to love the content in it, they were about, no, we also want to be part of it. How do we become part of it? And I think the right move I did back then was to open it up for other provinces too, because there's lots of other amazing startups from everywhere in the country. There's lots of good art from Eastern Cape that people don't know about in other cities. So me having an opportunity to profile an SME from Eqabeja or East London or Mthatha or an artist from here, it also exposes those people to people in Limpopo. They never got an opportunity to take that.
Yeah. And also I think just moving to ezinye provinces, it also expands your footprint.
Exactly.
Ngoba ngokufumaneka nakwezinye indawo kuba ndikhona mna, I wanna pass it around so that nabanye abantu bayifumane. So how many years, when did it begin?
So started the first edition, it was 1st July 2019, which was 7 months before lockdown. So started the first 2 months were good because everyone was like, wow. They never saw it coming, a publication which can be distributed via WhatsApp, which is where people are mostly at. And I remember back then in 2019, even most startups were not about using a WhatsApp. But due to the pandemic, which is 7 months after we have started, the pandemic came in and our actual numbers went up crazily that time. And I remember, I think 3 months after lockdown started, there was a national competition from DJ Spoo and Sonia Mbele they were looking for a thriving startup during that time. And we sent our product and we were the winner of that actual competition.
Nice.
And our numbers went up crazily during lockdown. And when startup started to move, when Mark Zuckerberg started to make sure now that we're having a business WhatsApp and startups started to using the platform as their business communication, a lot of startups we work with, they started to connect with us also. So that's how our numbers grew during lockdown.
So how do you track the numbers?
So it's easy. It's more of renaming your contact whenever it comes in. So when we started, we were busy renaming, but I must say to you, at some point it was overwhelming, especially at the end of the month when we're starting to distribute for a new month. There's quite a big number of people who are requesting. So it takes about a few days to rename those every now and then. But also what the internet has done for us is it's platforms like Google Drives. So now every time those numbers come in, we can easily move them to Google Drive and rename as the time goes. So that's how we are tracking everything.
So how many contacts do you have?
We are just over 20,000 now.
What do you use? What do you use to distribute the magazine?
So the distribution, we are using a computer, but for daily communication, we're using a phone. So it also helps to run the business while distributing at the same time.
And the fact that you are a directory.
Yes, a directory. And the crazy part is 2016 and 17, I wanted no WhatsApp in my life because I'm a person who loves their own space. I don't like traffic most of the time. But 2018, I started using WhatsApp because that's when I started, before the WhatsApp magazine came in, I developed something called a Spiritual Starter Pack, which is a basic publication where I was trying to make sure that young people get to know about the gospel in a language that they understand. And the language young people understand is the language of the social media and the social network. So in that, I was trying to give basic knowledge about getting connected to God. So it needed me now to have WhatsApp. So that's how I ended up going back to WhatsApp. So by the time I started the magazine, I was ready to be there. Even now, I get a lot of messages also, but I attend to what I can attend to. And fortunately, also, I was asking someone else last week, do you guys get crazy text sales on your WhatsApp? Because I think I'm very fortunate. I think also it's because I keep the WhatsApp as a professional place for me. The most people who engage with me, it's people who know me. Sis Ledet, you can text me anytime about anything. I can easily attend to it. Most other people, they don't actually text me. And whenever they text me, we always give them the email address to further the communication, but we keep the WhatsApp as a business platform.
So somebody could just call you, Xola, the number, or something. You probably have it.
I have like serious people on my WhatsApp that I wasn't aware even when I had them.
20,000 contacts.
One of the people who gave us a great advice about the platform, actually I follow him on the actual social media, and he doesn't know. I got a very great conversation via WhatsApp with Penuel the God. And he spoke about how he loves the product, and he was advising on how it should be, we should monetize the product. And he was actually talking about some of the things we already are doing. But for me, it's a matter of these people, it's people I see on the social media and I have respect for. So seeing them on my WhatsApp, it's a big thing. And I think we're still going to see a lot of people. But the main issue for now is that people still think it's a WhatsApp group. But we made sure it's not a WhatsApp group, because on a WhatsApp group, you are exposing people's numbers to other people. So that's why it's a one-on-one conversation, so that people can still feel safe by exchanging their numbers. And there's a lot of other great people on my WhatsApp that I really respect. And I think
name drop one.
That's where Amifaku's manager, Sheila, who owns about 3 great publications also now. She's one of the people who really love and enjoys our product. She's been there for like 3 years now, because when we got to profile Amifaku as the cover page, she was the one running the communication and making sure that we get the right story.
So what does the publication focus on?
The main focus is startups, and then we're making sure in between to the end we are having entertainment. We are also having a community-based kind of activities, but everything that's positive from any background, we are making sure it's there. Because I believe there's enough publications in the country that can push all negativity.
There's enough paparazzi.
There's enough paparazzi. So we're happy to be that one publication where people can always get only the positive things that are happening out there.
I think that's important.
It's amazing. It's way better than an online magazine, I feel.
The
experience of it.
Because it's easier to download,
it gets you where you are.
And then uyisebenzisa omnye data ka WhatsApp. They can still, access the magazine.
So the last conversation I had that made me believe that we are on the right track. One of the guys who was working for Kextin. Kextin is the big media group that owns your Bona, your You magazine, and every other big publication. The lady's on our WhatsApp also, and she only said this to me when she said, I've been on your WhatsApp for like 7 months now, and I think you have made one of the best things to use the platform to distribute your magazine. And for me, that only, I was like, okay. And she explained that I've worked for these big companies. We are going down every day because we don't have innovations.
They've been predicting it since now. The Interactor, editor, a move.
Yes.
Sis Talk.
Yeah.
Like since 2011, 2012, she's been saying that online, the internet is going to take over.
Yes.
Because the online magazine experience is just not the same.
Exactly.
There's too much happening on the online platforms. It's like reading the Herald from online.
Yeah.
It's not with ease.
Yes.
It's really not
There's
with
pop-ups.
ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just becomes too much. You're gonna know. I don't, or whatever, cookies. I just want an actual cookie. This is frustrating.
The actual cookie. Yeah.
And you just leave it like that. But with this one, as I say, it finds you where you are. It stays with you. Also, it can distribute itself because sharing is so simple on a platform like WhatsApp. And I don't think that if they'll ever think of competing with it, it's going to take a while because people need to think very carefully about how not to, sort of dilute the space too much. It's almost like you're going to be alone in that space for a while. Advertisers are going to chase you.
Like in 4 years, is it still you alone within the circle, Ozama?
I've seen one.
Okay.
I've seen one. It's one of the big flights. They are also trying that publication to distribute it via WhatsApp. So I'm that one person who's very curious about whatever product I see online, and I've tried their product out. And after trying it out, I was like, though they are studying it, we are still doing it the right way.
Because I think
irrespective of
try
the
to complicate
it.
They complicate it.
Yeah, I was going to say
also
that.
in matter of the data, you don't want to consume too much data or using too much data to download a product online. And seeing their publication, you look at the file is too big, and you think a lot of people won't be open into downloading this in their WhatsApps because this is too much. Because one of the great things that we do is to make sure that whenever we are starting to distribute, at least the file should be very, very less. Even a high school kid can afford to download it.
Well, I think the bigger publications are going to try to complicate it with some fancy this and fancy that. But I think the trick to the Konvenient Magazine is its simplicity.
Yes. So in the 4 years of writing the stories, engaging with artists, surely there must have been a story that touched you and made you believe that like what we're doing is great.
I think there is a story that I think moved me. There's a lady, very brilliant artist. I'm sure you guys would love it if you can be exposed to her music. Her name is Coco Madlala.
Okay.
She's actually from KZN, but now she's full-time in Johannesburg. And one thing that touched me about her story was the fact that she reached out to see if can we feature her. She was about to release her new single, and we said there is no space because it was a week before we released the next edition. So I said to her, I'm gonna try and see in the next edition, but she was like, I really need this for my music to get out there. And I said, send the music. She sent the song and I listened to the song. I don't want to lie. Beautiful song.
Changed your mind.
Beautiful song. And I said to her, okay, let's do this. And she submitted everything. And the only missing thing, a day before the publication should be out, there were still no images. So I had to directly call her to say, listen, we don't have time, and I've tried to make some kind of space for you, but now you are holding me up. I need to release the edition the following day. And she sadly responded to me that, listen, please give me 3 hours. I'm going to make sure you get these images. Currently, I'm at the hospital. My baby girl is so sick, and I need you guys to make sure my story is there. But for now, I can't leave my daughter here. Can you just please make sure that you don't release the next edition without me? I'm going to send the actual pictures. And for me, at that moment, I was like, I was trying to be kinda push it to her, but I was open to like, let me wait. And she delivered. And a month after that, she came back and she thanked me for that opportunity. And I think that was 3 years then. I see her music even now, and she is growing beautifully in the industry. So that story alone made me realize that we are doing the right thing. And for me, one of the biggest things in this kind of work, which I think is going to be one of our advantage also with other big publications, it's how we are building direct relationships with people. And I think one of the important things currently going forward for any business, it's about relationships. The
personal touch.
Yeah. So I think it's there.
With the people that you have, are you able to sort of segment them area bahlala kuzo and know bangabana influence yenu EP kakhulu?
Yes, we do, and crazily only this year that we are starting to see Eastern Cape taking over. Our main numbers were Gauteng. And I think what made that was the fact that people in Gauteng, when they saw the product, they didn't think twice. They just wanted to know who's there and how can we get our work out there. And even now, I was talking to another guy yesterday, and I was telling my friend that I always laugh when people speak to me. They easily switch their languages to their actual languages, from English to Tswana to Sotho. And fortunately, I understand those languages. And the fact that they do that, they assume the publication is in Gauteng.
Yeah.
And I got invites every now and then, like, can you come to us? We are having something somewhere. But fortunately, what I've done this year through working with the business chamber, we had a few young people who came in to do their actual work experience. And 2 of them from me are based now in Johannesburg because they were from NMU, going back home now. They're in Gauteng. So I do have a few people who represent the magazine that side.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Are you getting paid?
I can
asking
afford
this so
to pay directly only my web editor, and the other 2 guys are being paid by the company who's hosting them as a work experience, and I have other 2 guys who are doing a full-time work experience. But the great thing now is that the magazine can pay for its own bills without me having to fund it from my own pocket. So I think that also makes me see the progress on the project. And recently we've got also a young person who's joined us as a graphic designer to do her work experience at Damelin. She's based in Pretoria.
Nice.
The next big aim is to open up the platform for young people from tertiary who are looking for space to practically do what they've studied for.
Journalism.
So I've changed also now the WhatsApp magazine as a company to a convenient media hub because I want to open it for a lot of young people who want to practice their skills in the magazine. Yeah.
So I want you to tell the story. How did you change from WhatsApp magazine to Konvenient Magazine?
So changing from WhatsApp magazine, and the reason why I used WhatsApp magazine at the beginning, I wanted people to directly understand that if WhatsApp and magazine, it's surely something on WhatsApp. So when then Mark Zuckerberg started to own and run WhatsApp, they send because part of the work that we do to advertise the work and the magazine was to use Facebook, which we already owned. So when they started now to take over WhatsApp, they send communication via email to say, we are going to hold down your page. We need you to change the whole IP for them because the word WhatsApp also is owned by them. So they took down that page after 2 weeks because my conversation to them was that, yes, I'm willing to change the name, but will I be able to get those followers? I remember our page was close to 1.8 back then. But 1,800.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they couldn't give us that data to a new page. So they closed it down. And I think that's one of the things that I felt kind of discouraged. But we just over 1,000 again. And I was laughing at the fact that, you know what, when you start something because you love it and you want to do it, you always get up and go do it. So we had to problem solve on that issue to find a name also that's not going to throw the product away from what it was. And that's where Konvenient came in, because the WhatsApp magazine it's something that's very convenient. So we're like, let's change the C and make it a K, which is now we see Konvenient Magazine.
Convenient.
Yeah. Because we wanted also to accommodate every other race in South Africa and not keep it very vague, but make sure anyone from any other race can still connect with the product.
How much more of other races sort of, engage with you, and do you also profile?
I always, in terms of profiling, 90% of the time to 100%, it's Black South Africans.
Okay.
But we try every now and then to include white South Africans who are running their own businesses, because I know they're having the same issues as us. And the great thing about that is that now we are exposing our work to every other race, because also they get to see what we are doing. They get to also be involved in our products. And also it's a way for us Black young South Africans to sell our products to other races. So I try to keep the product as reflects the whole South Africa, not a certain race.
And what do you think of this rise of young Black people in media, and not just being in media in terms of being the what do I say? Maybe
talent,
the editor of a particular magazine that's owned by whoever. What do you think of the fact that young Black people are now owning their own media houses, if I can put it like that?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. The internet has given us a great opportunity to start owning our work. And I think a lot of young people are taking advantage of that. Because if I look at the big media house that was ruling the whole South Africa, it was Kexin, which is white owned, where we will read a story, which is a Black South African story that we all connect with. But that whole revenue was going back to a white-owned company.
Yeah.
And we were the people who were making numbers, because if we chatting is magazine, everyone want to make sure we're there. So the fact that now we have young people owning these publications, telling our own stories, our own way, for me, it's a win.
Yeah, no, I also believe it's a total win, because we're no longer... Because I believe Daily Sun is also owned by a white company.
Yes. And look at the stories that they ran.
Look at the stories that are out there.
And they were ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm thinking, with having something like the Konvenient Magazine, the podcast, Kunjani, Ephondweni and whatnot, means that we get to not only celebrate ourselves, but also laugh at ourselves, but with dignity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? With dignity, which is something that the others, they always take away our dignity.
Exactly. I think it goes back to what... we engaged about earlier, to say your Steve Harvey stories, they get too much attention. And so with us who are owning new media companies now, it's up to what we decide our products to be. If you want to run a product where it's about cloud chasing, if it makes sense to you to do that, you carry on do that. But I think most of us are about now celebrating each other, are about now protecting what we have as the Black community, and making sure that the world can know that we have brilliant products, we have brilliant people, brilliant initiatives happening in our communities that people don't know about. So that's the good thing about having to own these kind of publications as Black young people in South Africa now.
Yeah, and currently, who are you looking at in the spaces, whether it's a podcast, it's a radio station that's, Black owned, Black run, or newspaper and magazine? Who do you think is that one?
Media 24 owns Daily Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're being told.
So I think one person, when I started the product, actually, I always look at the biggest person in the room and try to measure myself to that. So when I started, I was like, I want to run a standard as good as Bona while I'm here. So I always make sure that I keep, even people I feature.
Not drum.
I think drum and Bona on the same level. Even people I feature, I spend a lot of time on social media to check people's profiles, to check people's business pages. For me, being professional while you are still on the ground makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. So
Neville.
yeah, and you guys are really doing it well. Yeah, I must say.
When are we getting an invite and a profile, man?
Definitely, we will work on that.
But I think Ephondweni is also being hollered by the Konvenient
Magazine.
Yeah. Our links have been shared and stuff.
One of the people I look up to, Mike G is one of those. And I can't say much about his content, but the boldness of taking the product from where it was to where it is right now, for me, he really has built the biggest media machine in South Africa, regardless of the content, but at the very same time, there's very good content from his podcast. Things that we get to learn about. People that we hardly hear them telling stories from wherever. He manages to have those people in his platform. So
I also think Mac G, what he does is he's that kind of friend that in a group of friends, there'll always be the one who's really intelligent and will attract all sorts of different types of people.
Yeah.
So Mac G knows when it's time to focus on,
the real
Daseda.
Yes.
Otando hlala pe tavern type of vibe. And McG will give Daseda his moment. But also when it comes time for McG to engage with his varsity friend who's now a political analyst and whatnot, McG's up for that as well. He's got the time, he'll attend to it. And so I think that's the thing about him, is that he's well-rounded and he approach to everything. He doesn't change too much. He doesn't chop and change. I was listening to the one with Dr.
Is it Dr. Swerve?
Seve,
yeah.
I was listening to that when Dr. Seve said F off, and it's, come on, you can say fuck off. He's always himself, but he still opens up his space to accommodate all the different types of people that he knows.
And I think what also is he is doing well, which I think you guys also, I've seen it already when I said it's my first time here, but I'm sitting there, I'm noticing that this is not a Lele 2 podcast. It's a whole team. Someone is running the other thing on the other side. I'm sure someone is running your documents. So you are running your podcast as a business already from scratch. Because one thing that we lack from our side is that we always run our products. We do the best things just for fun. And there are people who are doing the very same things that we are doing for fun and making money, because they formalize those things from the ground and making sure that our business is compliant and making sure the cameras are good. So all those things, they make the product a full product that can be a full business. I think Mag-G has a best team behind him. Without him having making sure that he gives us the right conversation that entertain us, but there's a lot of other guys who are making sure
there's a lot,
fully run as a business.
And kudos to you for making WhatsApp. Mark Zuckerberg, jealous. Like you are hijacking. You are hijacking our identity by Africa. No, I like that. But how did you feel when you received that communication?
I felt
Must have been
like
scary.
The right thing. I was kind of scared a bit, but at the very same time, I think when I responded to the first email, getting the communication back where I was given the whole context, it came in a very respectful way for me to learn and take advantage of pushing the product well on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So for me, that was a high, and one thing I've learned now recently, it's also the fact that, when you start something good, you are expecting the whole community to say, yes, you are doing something good.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you don't really get it. And that's why a lot of young people who have come up with brilliant initiatives are no longer there now, because there was no one who recognized the work. Yes. So in my way, including Mark and a few other people that I really respect, when they came to me and said, you know what, this thing is right, but correct there, or this thing is right, we love it this way, it made me not see all these other 20,000 people who are following the magazine, but the 2-3 people that I've got communication from that made me realize that we're on the right track. Yeah.
Advertisers are coming on board?
Advertisers are coming on board. It's a challenge. So the great thing that we have done also, the great thing that we've done and got was in 2021, we managed to get a 12 months contract 2021 with MTN.
Oh, beautiful.
So people are asking me a lot about that contract, and the last communication I had with MTN this year is sending them our actual rates now. Because when I took that contract, it was me in a state of, I want to have a big client on the magazine. So in terms of rating them, I rated them so poorly. So now we are having a conversation that speaks the product and its value. So I'm looking forward to hear from them, and when they come back to give us what we think we're worth now than what they give us then. And I don't blame them then, because they also needed a platform to run their ads. But we need more of those 12 months and more contracts. But up on our sleeve right now, we do have great conversations with people that we think they are coming through.
Nice.
I wish that you had the ability to track how many shares come from your 1 cent to the 20,000 people. Do you have that?
Not exactly, especially on WhatsApp. We don't have control over that, but there are.
I need to join it, man. You have something like a group.
Yeah, it's not a group, but I'll definitely get you the number.
Yeah.
There are advanced PDF now that can track how many people have
shared.
And I'm sure we're going to be using such as soon as financially can afford those, because it also gives the whole data that you need. Yeah.
There's also that platform, man. It's like WhatsApp. What's the name of that other one? La app, guys.
Which one is this?
Oh, app. It works exactly like WhatsApp.
Isn't it Telegram?
Oh, Telegram.
Telegram. You don't distribute through Telegram?
Not at all.
Do people still use Telegram?
We are looking at pushing a new publication via Telegram, but it's something that we are building at the moment. Because Telegram is still big. It's just that a lot of people think about it when you are starting to speak about it. But yes,
when WhatsApp crashes, then we think Telegram.
I remember the migration.
Your thing has been forwarded, and
the migration. There was a frenzy with WhatsApp, new laws and whatnot, and everyone migrated to Telegram.
And the beautiful thing about Telegram, even when you create a group there, no one have access to the next person's contact number. That's the beautiful thing.
Cisha laa nto yoba iinamba zakho ubone sekungena umntu apha because ufakwe kwigroup ethile ethetha into ongazi-understandiyo athi hi. Athi hi.
Hi guys. We need the episode yakho.
I have a lot of those here and there of those highs, but I think people start to learn. When they say hi, you open the message and then you close it, you move. Until they get to decide if they want to tell you what they are there
what they're about,
and that's
it.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Hi.
Yo, man, me, I'm happy, Kim.
Yeah, man. So, what's the future like for Konvenient? For Konvenient Magazine? Are you looking at seeing that you've profiled a lot of startups, upcoming artists, and so forth? Are you really looking at maybe having an event, sort of like an outreach type of a thing. We exist. It never hurts just getting a new pair of eyes and ears, people who can engage with your content.
So I think one of the next moves that we are working on now, because now in August we're celebrating our 50th edition.
Wow.
Which there was a lot of learnings from us, from the first one to the 50th one, from how people work, the people's attitudes, how people run their businesses. And we looked at other beautiful products we have profiled before who are no longer there, looking at the reasons on those. But the next chapter for us, we want to be that central point for startups. And also, we are using our platform to advertise a lot of entertainment events every now and then all over the country. So we are making sure the product, it's a center place for everyone to come and get to know what's happening in their area, wherever they're at in South Africa. But the biggest thing for me is to create opportunities for young people, which is something that's starting to happen right now.
What's your slogan? Sorry. What's your slogan?
Move with us.
Okay. It would be tricky to say Konvenient Magazine, no, what's up?
I just wanted to, if you can,
move with us,
Can you give the number out that people need to use to access the magazine?
Definitely. So to get the magazine, you simply type hashtag convenient. You send it to the number 078-703-7820. It's convenient. Then you send it to WhatsApp to the number 078-703-7820.
Greatness.
All right.
With that,
I'm sure I'm going to join.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and all the best, man.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for the love too.
Yeah.
Nah, you've been showing us love, bro. I see you on Facebook, man. You've been. So I'm like, hey, Konvenient Magazine, I don't know, but they show. They appreciate. They share, when every Tuesday when we drop an episode, Konvenient Magazine will be amongst the first people to share our content. We appreciate that, bro.
You guys are doing great work. We never just clicking to any other thing on the social media. Everything we click on is something that we believe is a good thing. Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you. It's a wrap.